Guys, so last time we talked about how to pull data from the database using our Eloquent model. But you might be asking yourself, how do I perform where clause? How do I order my table? How do I order my data from my table? And maybe how do I restrict the number of number of items that are being pulled? So there is the method chaining where you can add a where clause, or you can add an order by. You can take is like limiting the number of items you want to take. So for example, based on our database table, we have scores. So for example, we want to take only let's say students who have a particular score, and that score will be maybe something that is greater than 10, right? So we want to take only students that have a score greater than 10. So all what we need to do, we have to do, and we have to alter this our query. Let's increase it a bit so it's more visible. Okay, great. So rather than doing, I'll delete this, it's not important. Rather than doing just students all, we can say, I'll comment this out. This is students, right? Students where score greater than, right, 10. Get. So at this point now, we want to get, it's basically the SQL is like so: select star from students where score is greater than 10. That's basically the SQL that we've written. So we're saying that fetch all the students where their score is greater than 10. It could also be greater than equal to 10. It could be equal to 10. It could be less than 10. It could be not 10, right? So you could look at the various operations in MySQL and then equate them to your database, your Eloquent model here. So if we save this and we come back here, let's reduce this. Okay, so at this point we have six users because we have not performed the where clause yet. But if we refresh now, we'll notice we have just 4. We have Martin, we have Bella, we have John Doe, and we have Obama, because they all have scores that are more than 10, right? Now let's assume this was a score of, let's assume that this returned like 200 records and you just wanted the first 2. So that's point now we can think about, you can chain it with take, right? So take says you can take just 2. You just want only 2 from the record. So if you save this and you refresh, so you see that it has pulled only 2, right? It has pulled only 2, but then the results return 10. So it returned 4 options, but we want to take only 2 from those 10 options, right? So let's make it a bit cleaner and then do it like so. Yep, make it cleaner. Some space here, do good. Great. So we've returned only 2. Now, but what if we want to change the order? We want to return from the most recent by ID. So we want to return from the biggest ID to smallest ID. So we can now use the order by. Nope. We can use the order by. We'll say order by ID descend. So we're saying that we want to order these operations by a field, and what is the order? So field order. So we want to order by ID and it should be descending. So descending means from the biggest number to the smallest number, and it's ID. So if we save this, we go back here and we refresh this, we notice our order changes. Our order changes because we have added this order, but then it pulls 2. And if we remove this, we save, we refresh, we'll see that it pulls everything. So you should be a bit careful when you're using the take, that's the limit, and an order, because it might not give you exactly the operations you might want to get. You might want to also use pagination. You can do that later on. Look at it in the documentation, how to paginate. But take here is not pagination. Take here is more of limiting the number of of records that are going to be pulled from your database. So I'm sure at this point you've seen how to use where clause, you've seen how to use order, you've seen how to use take, and the take is more of limit. So this is limit. So we can also do this order by name, right? We can say order by name. If we say order by name and we refresh the page, we'll see that, oh, let's comment out this take. We'll see that now it is ordering by name. And if we change the order by ascending, right? Ascending. So it's either ascending or descending. And if we refresh here, we see the order changes. It's based now on alphabetical, the way the alphabets fall. So A obviously will come before B, ascending from small to big. Yeah, I think at this point now we know how to make where clause, we know how to do where clauses, we know how to do order by, we know how to do limits using take, and we know that we can use the get or get method to chain all the operations and pull the data from the database.